This word may be the most important word that you understand for retirement, and it's decumulation. I'm going to define what that means and why it's important for you, and you need to understand it's the most difficult financial puzzle that you're going to have to solve, particularly as you move into retirement. I'm Ethan Kap. I create movies and books, Retirement Everest, Retirement Deception, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, to get this message out so people can lock in their lifestyle so they have money that lasts their entire life. Because it's really not about the largest nest egg, it's about cash flow, not hoping for a better retirement, having more control over that process. So in this video, I want to go over specifically what is decumulation and how it's different than accumulation, okay? So we get asked this a lot, and I think it's very important, right? So over here, we're going to put accumulation. All right, okay, we'll just abbreviate it. Then we have cum, okay? So we have accumulation versus decumulation. We'll just keep this simple. Accumulation is when I'm working and I'm actually putting money into a qualified account, 401k, IRA, brokerage account, buying real estate, whatever it is, I'm growing my assets, right? So I'm growing my assets, okay? I'm adding to these assets, okay? Now, am I spending down a little bit? Sure, I'm gonna spend some of this, so spend some of it, right? But the idea is to spend less and then have, compounding, the rule of 72, which is what everybody should know. But accumulation is essentially is like blowing it into a balloon. I'm working, I'm growing it, and I'm seeing that nest egg grow, okay? So the whole idea is, we wanna grow a nest egg, and this is what we're taught, that actually then can pay us in retirement, okay? That's what accumulation is. Makes sense. Well, most people don't understand or have never heard what decumulation is. Decumulation is the process in which we take these assets, okay? And we want to spend down the assets, okay? This is where we're going to be spending down the assets. Now, we may want to pass on a portion of those assets to family. I get that, okay? And there's ways to do that. Consult with the proper people that can help you do that, all right? So, but here though, and I'll just talk about myself for an example. As I get closer to retirement, which 10 to 15 years I'm going to be there, it's like, okay, I want to have a lifestyle. So decumulation is really what we want to call lifestyle. Okay, that's why we call our process the lifestyle lock. You want to lock in your lifestyle, all right? And we want to be able to, for a portion of these assets, okay, because we don't want them all to evaporate, right? Maybe there's a portion of them we want to pass on to the kids, or there's a portion that we want to give to charity, whatever it may be, right? Everybody has different things, right? But I think there's a lot of people that would like to do that, okay? So for a portion of these assets, or if it's all of them, if you don't care, I want to spend this down in the most efficient way possible, meaning that I'm not going to run out of money. Run out of money, okay? Run out of money. I want to make sure I don't run out of money. And that's important because I want to be able to keep my lifestyle the same or potentially even have it go higher. And this is what decumulation is. It's very difficult because you need to think about it this way. Let's say you have two people. Let's say it's me and my spouse. The kids are out of the house. I've got this nest egg over here. I've got two people that have unknown lifespans and unknown variables that could hit this portfolio, right? Taxes could hit it, okay? They could go up, double or triple potentially. And some of the people are saying that. I could have inflation hit it. I could have market volatility hit it, okay? I could actually have a health scare, okay? I could actually live longer than I thought, longevity, right? Okay? So the list goes on and on. I mean, there's multiple things, right? In Retirement Everest, we talk about 7 main ones, what we call the 7 decumulation risks that if done properly, you can actually reduce what we call mitigate or eliminate some of those. And most people, they don't really think through that because they're like, hey, I made it to the top. It's going to be easy on the way down. Bill Sharp created the Sharp ratio. We interviewed him in Retirement Everest, said it's the most difficult financial puzzle that anybody will have to solve in their life. Again, because it's unknown variables, two people with unknown lifespans and unknown variables. So if multiple of these things whack you in a given year, it could cause this to go down significantly. And so that's the difference between accumulation and decumulation. And so in Retirement Everest, we really define this and we talk about having a plan for this, and most people don't. And then working with someone who actually is a decumulation specialist and understands the risks and knows how to help mitigate or even eliminate some of them. And that's why it's important to ask yourself, A, do you know how to do decumulation? Or if you're working with someone else, do they understand that as well? So here's the difference, accumulation versus decumulation. You may have never heard this word, but really it's a word that everybody should know, right? That we want to optimize and spend down these assets in the most efficient way so we can eliminate or mitigate many of these retirement risks, still keep the portfolio intact, have money that pays us the rest of life, and if possible, have it left over, so if we want to give to charity or pass on to family, etc. And there is a more scientific way to do that. And that's why we call our process income calibration that does that. And it's the lifestyle lock, the lock in your lifestyle. Because again, retirement, people think it's about money. You know, money is a catalyst, but it's really about lifestyle. It's about going and doing the things how you want, when you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, and reducing or eliminating these things, because why worry about them if you don't have to, and you can just focus on lifestyle. So go lock in your lifestyle.